The Warrior of the Sands. The Pharaoh returned. This is Inaros, the Mummy Warframe. Inaros' sandy attacks restore and enhance his defenses, while damaging enemies and making them more vulnerable. Inaros' passive places him in his sarcophagus upon death. While in Bleed Out, Inaros controls a sand clone of himself to attack enemies at melee range, siphoning their health. If Inaros siphons enough health from enemies, he instantly revives without using any of your revive slots. Upon reviving, Inaros is healed to full and becomes invulnerable for a few seconds. Along with this, whenever Inaros performs a finisher, he heals 10% of his health. Desiccation is a very simple ability.
Pocket sand.
Inaros throws out sand in a wide area in front of him, dealing true damage. Enemies struck have their health stolen, healing Inaros. Along with this, enemies are blinded for a short period, leaving them open to finishers, and take a small amount of true damage over time. This makes it much more easy for Inaros to take advantage of his passive ability. Sandstorm is Inaros' attempt to do a Ninjago cosplay. Inaros turns into a sandstorm that lifts enemies into the air. Enemies take slash damage, and heal Inaros for each enemy caught in the tornado. For the duration, Inaros is invulnerable and unable to use weapons or abilities. As far as I can tell, there isn't a limit to how many enemies can be lifted by Sandstorm, making it a very useful crowd control ability as well. Enemies that survive the duration of Sandstorm are ragdolled and vulnerable to ground finishers. Inaros can cancel out of Sandstorm at any point in time by recasting the ability, or activating a light melee attack. Calling upon the ancient swarms of Earth's deserts, Scarab Shell increases Inaros' armor by a large amount, and deals a small amount of damage to nearby enemies while charging. Instead of using energy, Scarab Shell instead drains Inaros' health. This might sound bad, however most of his abilities revolve around healing himself. The armor from the shell decays for each time it prevents a status effect upon Inaros, or Inaros suffers a lethal strike. This helps a lot with Inaros' survivability. Just make sure to heal after recasting it. For instance, I would suggest using Sandstorm immediately after Scarab Shell. Infesting the enemy with the Swarm, Scarab Swarm deals corrosive damage over time to enemies struck with the sands. As the swarm consumes the enemy, they inflict corrosive statuses, lowering their defensive to help deal more damage to them. Enemies damaged by the swarm will spread it to enemies within 12 meters of them. When an enemy surrounded by the swarm dies, they spawn a sand kavat that acts on its own and spreads the swarm to other enemies while dealing additional corrosive damage to them. A maximum of 3 sand kavats can be spawned at any given time, and Kavat strikes will count towards Inaros' revive passive. I love this ability with him. It's a lot of fun spawning like a pride of cats to attack enemies like some kind of violent Disney princess. I like Inaros, and he works for most game modes well, aside from things like Spy. At rank 30, Inaros has 2,310 HP, absolutely no shields, 240 armor, and 150 energy. Inaros has a Naramon Aura slot, along with 2 Vazarin polarities, and a Naramon Exilus polarity. Inaros Prime has an additional 105 HP, 40 energy, and 1 Matter-Eye polarity. Inaros and his parts are acquired through the side quest Sands of Inaros, which can be purchased from Pharaoh for 25,000 credits and 100 ducats. Pharaoh appears at a random relay for the weekend every other week. Let's see what Inaros can do one last time. Walk on warm sands, Tenno.